Hello there, Only One Kenobi here, Only One. I thought I'd squeeze in another episode of Only One Fans, just cause man. Yeah, I'm filming this on Friday the 21st actually. I'm aiming to get it out this weekend, or edit this weekend, put it out on the Monday. Yeah, so really sad news this week, awful news. One of our very own we lost, which is Mr. Manga Fandanga, Simon Richardson, also known as the brother of Shabby. Although he was a legend in his own right, man, the guy was a phenomenal artist, unbelievable. I'll put some of his work up on the screen. He was someone I met twice. I met him at Celebration for the first time, and then I met him at the penultimate Echo Base Live back in March or April this year, the Easter time one I call it, and then I went again in October. I didn't see him there. Such a regret that when I met him the last Echo Base, he was going to bring some artwork with him, but he said forgot it. He forgot the work, man. But his artwork was incredible. So that was one awful regret that I never got hold of one of his pieces, which he did promise me. That sounds so selfish, isn't it? You know, when somebody's passed away. God, but you know what I'm saying, man. But he's no longer with us, man. It was just the worst news, and our thoughts, hearts, prayers, everything go out to the family, in particular his twin brother Shabby. Later on in this episode, I'm going to show you a couple of clips of the couple of times I met Sai, and that's from Celebration 2023 and also the Echo Base I just mentioned, which was earlier this year. And it just once again hits home how fragile life is, and you just never know. It's just terrifying and heartbreaking, but you just make the most of it while you can, you know. Awful. So the whole community has come together in tribute to the man, so I thought I would also do a tribute on the channel, you know, to pay respect, you know. But you will not be forgotten, that is for darn sure. But forgotten you will be not. But forgotten you will not be. You will not be forgotten. I'm trying to talk like Yoda or something. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen. So there is that to start things off. But here is the room. I'm filming this, as I said, on Friday in the daytime. I was in here last night actually doing a bit more packing up. I've actually run out of plastic bags. Please don't panic. These are, I think, acid free. So don't worry. But I love it. And there's a load of stands over there. They're all kind of sat there now. I'm keeping them separate. I'm not bagging them away. Last time I bagged away figures, I put a stand in each bag, but because I'm going to change that anyway. I've got lots of different types of stands. My favourite ones are black stands. These ones, if I can help, I might retire them, use them as and where necessary. These are way better. These are really dusty, actually. These are from Ian's Display Accessories, not Ian IB3D, but Ian, forgotten his surname now, Sanderson, is it? From Ian's Display Accessories. They are modern figure stands. They're very good. I've always had a thing for the black ones. Oh, pardon! And, you know, stands like this are always very nice, but I don't have many of them. I just found them to be too expensive. And then, of course, you've got the Ian Butler from IB3D stands, which are very good. They're for... Oh, can you focus? They're better for modern figure stands, as in the current TVC that are too shallow. So I'm going to give you a room tour and a little bit of a look around today, but I'm going to give you a full room tour when the place is empty. We'll see what remains, but you're getting a little preview of that now. My plan, emptying the shelves, was to just start afresh, but even now it's nice. It's not as congested. Only big items remain, like vehicles, or like we've got the dioramas there, or specific pieces like this. I'm going to do something with all this stuff though, folks. We're going to rebuild, and when it's all empty, I might change my mind. I might have original trilogy there. You just never know. But I just needed that fresh up, and the bottom line is it's been a nice way to handle figures again. Usually when I put them on the shelf, they're on the shelf and they're done. But as I've packed them away, it's been a good way to look at the figures, check out how good they are. I'm going to box them all up in category. Sorry man, the place is an absolute mess. You know, that's how I used to display in my old house. I didn't have a spare room like this. I used to have my figures in boxes, you know, droids, Jedi, Imperials, Sith, aliens, you know what I mean? Clones, whatever. But these are what's remaining, so it's great. And I'm going to bring up a question that I have received from somebody now. So, I have a question here from Child of the Wilderness, and they have said, question for you, sir. Thank you, sir. How do you combat dust? I have shelving with figures on, and I'm constantly having to remove them in order to clean the dust off. Isn't it easier to have everything in cabinets? Well, it's a very good question, and it is a question, or the question of dust is something I get asked all the time. Sometimes I just ignore it. It's terrible, isn't it? It's boring. I always get asked the question, and it's something people obviously want to know, but I do almost get tired of answering it. But in here, I always say back to people, I try not to be rude. I'm sorry if I am rude ever, ladies and gentlemen, but it's like these windows here. I don't mind people asking about these windows. They should ask. I hate it when people assume and say you should have UV protection, or you need to get UV protection on your windows because your figures are going to go yellow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do have UV protections on these windows. And also when I'm not in here, I pull down the blind. Absolutely, man. Definitely. I understand where people are coming from, because, you know, we want to protect our collections, but never assume, ladies and gentlemen. Never assume. Maybe it's just people's way of asking a question, I don't know. But still, this question of dust, it does come up a lot. And the thing is, about the cabinets, Detolfs are lovely. I find they're great for, I've got a collection of helmets downstairs, actually. That's the only Star Wars stuff I've got downstairs. But I wouldn't really want to put my figures in Detolfs, because I like my way of doing it is, I know I'm clearing the shelves away at the minute, but this stuff has just survived. To give you an example, clustering like that, I love it. All facing the front, standing like a portrait, like stood for a photograph almost, you know what I mean? And that's the way I like to do it. And you could do that in a Detolf, but they're very limited. You've got to open them and close them, and if they rattle, the thing about Detolfs is the metal door, you open them and everything falls over probably, I can imagine. But in an ideal world, this room would be a lot bigger than this, and I would just have seamless shelves going right down and around, you know what I mean? But these aren't necessarily seamless, but they're just an open shelf, a space that I like to display stuff on. And shortly going to be packing away. These are too close for my liking, just digressing here. Two queens too close to each other, nah, that should be somewhere else. I don't know why I've moved them. But that's a cluster of Naboo. Then you've got a cluster of the political figures from Phantom Menace. And then, this is nice, this. Gungans get pasted too, eh? I hope not. You know? It's a lovely figure of Jar Jar, that. Do you know what, man? I need to get back onto things like... God, there's so many top to flops I should and could do. Haven't done Vader. Haven't done Boba Fett. Have I done Django? I think I might have done Django. Haven't done Maul. Oh no, I've done Maul, have I? Darth Maul, did I? Luke Skywalker Farm Boy, Luke Skywalker Bespin, Obi-Wan Kenobi, young Obi-Wan anyway. Could do one for that. Jar Jar, as you saw. Grievous, that's another one I want to do. My God, Stormtrooper. I haven't done a top to flop for Stormtrooper. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. I will do it. I suppose there's always something that gets in the way of these things, but I will get round to these things, I promise you. But just one more key point, and I'm filming this a little bit later on because I forgot to say this when I was just reflecting on what I prattled on about. As far as dust is concerned, these are white shelves. They don't really show the dust, and you know, I keep this, not to say there isn't dust in here, there is, but man, yeah, this is a closed off room. Very seldom do I come in here, and you know, I don't know, I don't find that there's a lot of dust in here. You usually get it on the lower shelves, if anywhere, but it doesn't particularly show up. I don't know if that's something to do with the colour white. If they were black, maybe the stands, the shelves would show it up a bit more, but just thought I'd add that. I don't really have a problem. I consider this a closed off room, not so dusty in here. But yeah, I'm waffling on here. I think I'm going to leave it there. One thing I'm going to do in this episode of Only One Fans is I'm going to open a figure. Even though I'm packing everything away, it's still one I want loose. In fact, my Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars shelf is now empty. I thought I was going to leave that till last, but I've actually decided to go for it. I'm going to pack the lot away. Everything is going to go. And I've ordered some new zip bags earlier this morning from eBay. 100 of them. I think I need more than that, to be honest. But this is a figure for the Genndy Tartakovsky shelves. I'm going to open that proudly later. Stay tuned to the end for a little tribute to Shabby's bro Simon Richardson, ladies and gentlemen. As ever is the case, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into this episode of Only One Fans. Very impromptu. I was going to do one around Christmas maybe, but yeah. But anyway, nice to film in here with some nice morning natural sunlight, because the sun does come in here in the morning, and I thought the lighting was right. I'm off this morning. It's a Friday I'm filming this, so I thought I would start a new episode of Only One Fans. Brilliant. Let's open the figure.
Yeah, I just wanna open my figures. If I don't mind, I got triggered, yeah. I just wanna open my figures. If I just wanna open my figures. I just wanna open my figures. I just wanna.
Alright folks, let's give this a go. Figure I've been meaning to open for ages. I always say that. Figure I've been meaning to open for ages, but this really is. I love the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars, and this is another character that you see quite a few times in it. A Wolfman, but a Jedi. How cool is that? Great crossovers. It's like anything. It's like when you see a Nikto that's a Jedi. It's like, oh, I know that species, and they're a Jedi. Or when you see a Weequay Jedi, and this is a tip of the hat to our man, our little Shoos, or indeed Laxovrak, swinging a saber. You can see that okay? Can't remember where I got this. I think it was eBay actually. Let's have a little look at this guy. There's a little blurb there. A little blurb. I mean, the name is so like Ifant Mon, isn't it? Elephant Man, Ifant Mon. Oh, what's he called? Volvif Mon, Wolfman. Who comes up with these names, man? But you'll never know what he's like until you open him, so that's what I'm going to do next. There's another coin there. I do like these 30th anniversary coins. I've got an album downstairs, I'll put it in. And then there's other figures you can get in the line. That's definitely Genndy Clone Wars. Right at the very beginning, you see those guys. I've got a fair few of these to open as well. I've got a lot of Ralph McQuarrie figures that I want to get loose. They're still on the shelf up there. One of these corner things there. I've got all the Ralph McQuarrie, you know, the big 6 or 7, whatever they are. Vader, Chewie, Han, Leia, R2, you know, the main characters. But as for this guy, let's get him open. And just one quick acknowledgement there, that's labelled as Expanded Universe, back when the Expanded Universe meant something, or I believed in it, or I loved it, because it was, in my opinion, this was anything that was beyond the movies. And this is what the Clone Wars micro-series was. It was just a beautiful bridge between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. And, you know, what was Shadows of the Empire with Dash Rendar and all that lot? That was a beautiful bridge between Empire and Jedi. So now they're not even canon. It's very sad. Let's get them open. Wow, I just gave that figure a sniff. It's got the modern figure smell, but I think the recipe has changed again since 2007. That smells different. Let's get that coin out. Notice I didn't that man, because I don't know why. I can't remember how rare he was, but still I've kept it. I'll give you a quick look with the camera just on this tripod. It's on my gimbal still actually, but then I'm going to go hand out. Look at that. I don't have, sadly, Laxivrak to hand because he's packed away. We can only dream what Arlos Shoes will be like in hand. That would be an incredible figure. Please make it, Hasbro. This is him, and I can tell you now, folks, he will fit on a modern figure stand. There'll be no issue putting him on that. Or this, Ian Sanderson. Ian's display accessories. They're for modern figures. They will do anything from the Power of the Force 2 right up to the Legacy Collection and early TVC. And definitely this figure fits that category. Yeah, the angle of his foot isn't very good because he wants to go on a diagonal. There's no ball joint to swivel that back. Let me just double check the articulation of this. There's a ball joint. Yeah, there's a ball joint elbow, which is good. Ball joint at the shoulder. The head does move. It's not on a... Oh, it is on a ball. Maybe that... Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yeah, 100%. Not that it really could maneuver much. Wrist there. The leg articulation is very disappointing. There is no articulation. There is a... Aha, that's good. There's a ball joint there because he wasn't really parallel or flush with the stand. I can change that now. Oh, and his lightsaber's right here. That's very basic, that lightsaber. There's nothing really specifically unique about that. Just going to pose him up, folks. Right, let's go handheld on him. And here is Vulvif Man. There's his paws down there. He will go very nicely with my other Jedi, and I will leave a link to my shelf indulgence episode for the Gandhi Clone Wars. Some great figures in that line. And I'm looking forward to telling some tales with my figures, ladies and gentlemen, in here. Once I clear this room out, I've got this idea of doing like, empty room, but for just like one series of shelves telling the life and times of Anakin Skywalker, of which we'll see this. That'll be like after Attack of the Clones. You'll see key vehicles, figures, events. I'll do a mock-up. I'll put some figures together depicting key events, like when he slaughtered the Tuscans, when he battled Ventress. And it'll be nice. And I can do the same for the Clone Wars. Got so many great figures for the Gandhi Clone Wars, like this guy. Let's go right in on that face. Aha. The armour there. Con thing there. They're quite cute in a way, aren't they? They've got a cuteness. I know he's got savage teeth, but almost like bears or something, aren't they? Like chewy. Wolves are like dogs, so I quite like dogs. And he's a Jedi, so he's not going to rip you to pieces intentionally. I wish I had Lack right now. I don't believe that's the same. That's definitely not the same sculpt. Yeah, the species there you see. Shistavanen. I pronounced that right. Yeah, I like him. Glad I've got him loose. Sorry, buddy, you ain't got no friends right now, but you take center stage, no distractions. And I've got a really good figure of Anakin I want to open soon. Have I got it to show you? There he is. Not the best face, but it's the fact that he's all burnt, torn up, battered. That's the battle with Ventress from Yavin 4, you see. Perfect. I need that figure loose. My Gendy shelf. Alright folks, thank you for watching that. Hope you enjoyed it. Great figure. Volvithmon. I think I pronounced that right. Or Volvithmon. Wolfman. Jedi. Great stuff, man.
Well, I mean, it's plain to me that the issue with the Haslab that they're doing for the gunship is that, one, it's not a hero ship, and two, it's too expensive, and three, it's a ship that people already have in another form that is pretty good. But mainly, I just think it's too expensive for the majority of people to really have a vested interest in buying.
Yeah, I just wanted to play that message. That was left back in August when I asked everybody to let me know what they thought about the gunship. And, you know, your thoughts on the Haslab, basically. And that's his thoughts. And I used to think like that as well. And, you know, if they hadn't announced the gunship for the Haslab, I wouldn't have been upset because I know that what exists is not only big, but it's adequate. The only thing that was always missing from this, and especially the other one from Attack of the Clones with the maroon, you know, that one with the glass turrets. You had to buy the TVC one, which is now scandalously expensive on the secondary market. But of all the Haslabs that we've had of late, I can't even film the Ghost. The Ghost is not in this room at the minute. It's out at the minute. It's in my carded room, the Ghost. But of all the Haslabs that we've been anticipating, I suppose I was excited about the Cantina, but I've stalled on the Cantina. Not only did I destroy my my bar, I need to rebuild my bar anyway, but I will do a part 3 on the Cantina. I just haven't got into it. It just, maybe when I clear the room out and then I start to rebuild and introduce figures bit by bit, category by category. It does look nice though. I will then give the Cantina the attention that it deserves, because there's a lot I could do with it, and a lot I haven't done yet. I've got some little balloon lights that I'm going to put into this thing, so you can see that the light will come through there. The one thing about the Cantina that I found is that the box that I've opened for it, I have 2 Cantinas. One of them is mint still, because I do intend eventually to open the Tonica Sisters, so I bought a second Cantina just so I could have the Tonicas mint. That box is full of chairs. Forget about the cups for a moment. I've got chairs, tables that I still haven't used. I just didn't want to unpack it all, right? Some people did do that on their videos. They got the whole lot and unpacked everything. Nah, I was only going to drip, unpack what I needed. But see, this does look cool. It's got a lot of potential, and I'll get figures in the booths and in the foreground, background, whatever. But I just couldn't believe how much surplus there was. I feel like I've got enough tables and chairs out, but there's still a ton left to go. That's just a thought of mine. But that Haslab was one I, look forward to, definitely. And it wasn't really, it didn't blow my mind. It wasn't something I really wanted. I'm more into ships and vehicles, but it's cool for what it is. The Ghost, yeah, again, it's one of those ones that I backed it. I was excited to see what it was like. Slightly disappointed with the final product. There's a lot of empty space on it. I think they could have filled it out a bit more. But it doesn't half look good, man. I've been very happy how cool it looks in the background of my videos. Usually it's parked on one of these shelves. You can see it when I'm doing reviews in here. And it's impressive. Most impressive. But the thing about the gunship is it's a vehicle I love a lot more. I have a more nostalgic tie to it. Can't wait to see how good it is, man. It's bigger than that thing. It's going to be impressive. It's going to have a stand. And I know it's got a wash on it, which a lot of these other vehicles and TVC Haslabs of late have not had. Who the hell am I kidding? I've been excited in anticipation of all the Haslabs, but in particular by surprise, because I didn't really jump for joy when they announced the gunship. The more I've thought about it, seen the videos, invested in the idea, trust what they've said, seen the prototype. When I say trust what they've said, they have said or assured us that it will have a wash on it, and the prototype, you could see it, so that was exciting. I'm really looking forward to the gunship, man. I just kind of like that ship anyway, you know.
Yeah, g'day Nick. Here's your voice note for your next episode of Only One Fans. What I like to see most in the Battle of Geonosis, and I know it's probably going to be an unpopular opinion, is a return to the deluxe boxes. I'd like to see like a Geonosian warrior with one of their big cannons in the arena. So yeah, anyway, cheers mate.
Thanks, Blake, for that. Now, I did ask a few people if they want to leave a message. You don't have to ask a question. You can just give me a statement on something about Star Wars. I started a topic last few episodes, whatever it was. I asked you to get in touch with me and let me know what you want for the Battle of Geonosis. You know, the whole campaign that will surround the gunship. And I'm pointing my camera at this guy here because one of the things I'd like to see, just for fun, they'll probably never do this, but there's a couple of dinosaurs roaming around that Geonosis arena, man. Did you go down to that? I opened that last Christmas. Last Christmas, I opened this thing. But that would probably come in a big box. He said about deluxes there, and deluxe, the only issue I've ever had with deluxes in the past has been when they've, excuse my French, taken the piss and given us something like a Boba Fett with one flamethrower. I just thought that was disgusting. That should have always been just on a single card. The deluxes used to be good in a way because, you know, as a carded collector, I just want to open them. Thank you. Give it to me in a cardboard box, Hasbro. No problem. I don't want to, you know, it's just a Stormtrooper with accessories, right? No problem with that. But here's something from yesteryear. Would that be classed as deluxe? I mean, that's a bigger piece of plastic. That is just a piece, isn't it, man? This kind of thing we don't get no more. But they could put things like that in cardboard boxes. You know what I mean? You wouldn't want to keep it carded, would you? It's too big. It's not really particularly anything other than a machine. So, you know, he said about those cannons in the Geonosis arena. Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. Wow, I haven't put that there deliberately, but that just sort of brings me to that as well. I mean, what would you do? How would you package that up in TVC? But that's cool. That's been 3D printed that by IB3D. They're all just cool, aren't they, with accessories? But that would be a satisfying deluxe, wouldn't it? That, because that's a significantly big piece of plastic to go with that. I mean, hell, I always want to do this. I want to get my bag of stuff that came with the Force Awakens line. You know, the 5 POA line. The plastic they wasted in that, they gave you all these like accessories and things that were just pointless. Maybe a child would have got something out of them, but it's such a heavy bag as well, and it's full of just wasted plastic doing nothing. And now they really don't want to give you any plastic. They just give you a figure with a flame or something, and they class that as deluxe, or they did at a period of time, especially around the Django era. And then they started putting figures like that on big cards, which was a pain in the ass, like the what's she called now, Sabine Wren, that came with the wolf creature thing from Ahsoka. Anyway, I think we've got past that. You know, Steve Evans has moved us on from that, we hope. But you said about deluxes there, just thank you for giving me the message. It just gives me an excuse to kind of waffle on about some thoughts I have on things like that. But yeah, I agree, man. It would be good to see things like that. It would be awesome. And as for things like this, I must open them. This was gifted to me by Luke B, I believe. Very generous guy. And Christmas Day, I haven't got any specific vehicle this year for Christmas. My dream would be to get something like the turbo tank, but financially that would be a bit tricky. So I've got loads of figures. I might just do an opening session for the Christmas Day video this year. You know what I'm saying? So things like that would be cool to open. But yeah, great question, Blake. I appreciate that. And it's a good catalyst to talk about other stuff.
What's up, sir? I'm listening to your show and I thought of something. You know, in 2002, when I was playing with my first gunship, all those Saga Collection figures used to come with Jedi Master Points, little barcodes. You could cut them out and send them back in for, discounts and future rebates. What if they did something like that for Haslab, where every backer got like a promotion code or a QR code? So when they release a future Phase 1 Clone Trooper, build-up pack, maybe the Haslab backers, could get, 25% off, limit of 2 or something. Because, if this thing backs, all of a sudden I'm going to want a whole lot more Phase 1s. So just an idea of something that wouldn't hurt their profit margin, but would still feel like a reward for backers. Curious to know what you think.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good point. That C-3PO concepts, or C-3PO stories, I think you're called now. He left that a long time ago, actually. Probably it might not have even backed when he left that. So, bit of a backlog with the voice notes, but I'd love to hear from Tim on that one. I reckon there's a very good chance he's either thought about that or it's been mentioned or come up in his comments as well. It's a really good idea. Things like that are great, aren't they? Like loyalty. That's why I always said about the Sabine and Chopper. I think we should have been given a heavy discount on that. In fact, I wanted it for free, but then I actually totted up the maths and worked out how much money they would make just from those 2 figures in that pack, and it was a shed load. You know what I mean? So they're not a charity, are they? I just thought it would be nice because the Ghost, don't forget, went above and beyond the backing scale. So anyway, yeah, but they're not a charity. But with regards to the loyalty of that, it's good, isn't it? And I think it might have been you or somebody said that it would be an idea to have the first few backers, to get people on board backing earlier, because you don't forget, you don't get charged when you back it. You get charged when it backs or at the end of the campaign. You could get a numbered card or something, an exclusive at the very beginning, which would be awesome. A bit like my Star Speeder 3000, which was the D23 exclusive. I'll go and get the card now, hang on. Here he is, beautiful card. I don't have anything really carded that isn't TVC, but this one I'll make an exception. Look at the huge bubble on it as well. But on the back, look at that, 1502 of 3000, that's my number. That's so cool. I am so lucky to get that. Lara, if you're watching this, I ain't forgotten, honey. I will be constantly and forever in debt to you for going above and beyond to get me that thing. Wow. Oh, wow. Love that ship. Again, that's not in here either. That's just out temporarily. It's a big vehicle. But great idea, man. Keep them coming. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want that to be the end of the discussion. We've got a whole year before the gunship comes out. I want to know thoughts, theories. What do you want? What can we have? It's backed. Imagine it hadn't backed the gunship. They'd have loads of ideas that they'd have to scrap, I guess, or readjust what they were doing. But there's a lot of potential for this movie. It's the beginning of the Clone Wars, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen. A fertile, and I quote George Lucas, a fertile ground for storytelling, or something along those lines, he said. And he's right. It's a chunk of time, man. It's adventures. It's a lot of politics and war and story, character development going on there. Brilliant. Let's wrap this episode up. So anyway, I will leave it there, folks. I'm going to leave you with some clips now. God rest you. God bless him. Simon Richardson, aka Mango Fandango. That's what I used to call him. Manga Fandango. Brilliant artist. So sad that you are no longer with us. I don't know what to say. It's awful news, man. But what can we do other than celebrate and tip a hat and tribute, raise a glass to the man that was, and also pay our respects, tribute, and also make sure Shabby and family are okay and give them all the support we can. That's all we can do, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to leave you with some clips of Simon, the ones I have for my channel, and also links to where the original videos come from as well in the description. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Only One Fans. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only One. did you? How you doing, man? Good to see you. How you doing, Shabby? I mean, sorry. I'm only joking. Hello, how you doing?
Nice meeting you.
You too, how are you doing? I'll see you inside, guys. I guess. Yeah. All right, sound, fellas. Take care. See you later. Nice to meet you. Legend. Hi. Oh, mate, it's good to see you. I've got to catch it on film, man. Yeah, I've got to shake your hand again. Yes, that's it, yeah. Brilliant. Excuse me. Here they come. The cavalry. Documenting everything. Well, that's what your tweet. I don't know why I'm filming everything. It's ridiculous. Duck kind of is, though, isn't it? Chili prawns, eh?
Oh, is it? Yeah, passing.
Oh yeah, that's why you turned your nose up. You know it's seafood deep down.
Why are you taking pictures of the food?
I'm not. I'm doing a video here.
What's up with you, Nick?
Just immortalising the moment. I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't taken any pictures, man. It's just been video of everything.
It's definitely a fucking veggie option.
Maybe that'd be nice as a side.
Salt and pepper prawns. Beautiful. Oh, crispy shredded beef, there you go.
Yeah, that'd be lovely, that.
Some of that. Yeah. Crispy shredded beef. Thank you.
Bon appetit. Che approveche, eh? Having a lovely time.
We don't have the live stream tonight. We're doing the live stream now.
Shabby. You're right, Shabby, mate. Shabby. The f***ing sequel trilogy, mate. F*** that, mate. Sorry about the language. Sorry about it. Oh, sorry, lady. I'm sorry about that. Sorry.
I just see you next week.
I was doing an impression of Shabby. That's why I swore. I was in character. Oh, that's great.
See you tomorrow, Shabby. Shabby.
Love it. That's really funny. Cheers, goodbye. I'm going to do a selfie in real time. It's going to be a video. That's tea! Yeah! Let's get there. I'm just going to do video selfies. Yeah, I want to shake your hand, Bob. Alright, great to meet you. Never met you before, it feels like communicating. I'm going to video selfie if that's okay, guys. Alright, how you doing, man? Nice to see you, Si. Yeah, Dave, can we do a quick...
It's like, I've got a couple little things for you, which I think you might like. That one.
Sorry, man, it might be from the 80s.
I don't know if it's a watch or if it's an armband, but you can open up the packet. It feels like a wallet. It is back from the 80s.
That's nice, man.